Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading will be for Monday, December 7th. But let's see, what is the timeless message we can bring through? And this is the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Let's see what it is that we need to know for today. Okay, so we have for the theme the Four of Wands reversed. All these cards are reversed, but that's okay. We have a message here. So with the Four of Wands reversed, this could be sometimes when things are canceled, when there's an event canceled or a wedding canceled. You can see straight up it's a celebration, people coming together. It's any type of an event. Even an online like webinar or something like that. It can be any type of an event where people come together. It can also be, like I said, weddings. Reversed, it can be a funeral. It can be very, very challenging. Or it can be as simple as just a cancellation and a rescheduling. Let's see, what else could it be? When it's reversed, it feels like sometimes moving house, because we're not in the same place. It's upside down, so we're out. It can sometimes be like travel plans that have been made, but it's not going to follow, it's not going to come through. So travel, that type of a cancellation, because it sometimes represents like the happy home in the traditional Rider-Waite. You can see that it's like a home, or the entrance to a castle type of a thing. So this can sometimes be like family arguments, conflicts within the home when it's reversed, or somebody showing up who's not welcome in your home. There's that possibility as well. So combined with the Ace of Cups reversed, that's like a heart closing type of a energy. But then again, combined together, this can be like bad news of a breakup and the wedding's not going to go through, or bad news because someone has crossed over and now there's a funeral that we're planning. It can be, with the Ace of Cups, it can be a very painful card. It can be some type of like emptiness in the heart, which happens, if we've lost someone, or we've gone through, a very, very painful situation with a family member, then what happens is, there's grieving that happens usually, and then sometimes we experience just feeling empty. That's very, very, very normal, in human experience, of course, and especially with the Lovers reversed. This feels to me like these would be the cards that you would get if you're doing a reading for someone and it has to do with marriage proposal or marriage plans. It looks like it wouldn't go through. This would be, like somebody's heart closed and then they canceled the engagement and the wedding is off. With the Lovers reverse, that can be very challenging. When it's straight up, of course, it's the choice for love to come together, the forces of two people in, joining in relationship. It can be like deep love and a, strong, strong bond. But when it's reversed, this is the card of arguments. This is a card of arguments. This is a card of divorce, and regrets, or love that has been lost, and now the opportunity is to love yourself. No matter what. No matter what's going on in your family, no matter what has happened in the past, don't ever close off your heart to yourself. Be your own best family. and love yourself through whatever is going on, whatever has happened. Just grieve if you need to. If it, like I said, if it was a funeral, or if it is a funeral, of course, it's probably really challenging to attend something like that during, oh my goodness. I mean, if we just, let me put all the cards back and let's just feel into, even though this won't, well, it'll be timeless on one level, but if we just tune into where we are now at this stage of the epidemic that is all over the earth, if we just tune into the place of if someone crosses over and it's from our family, and we didn't get to have that heart connection with them while they crossed over in the hospital because they can't be with anyone else. If you're lucky, you got to do FaceTime with them, and that would have come through a very compassionate nurse who had the time to actually make that happen. So if that's what's happened, that can be a very, very, very challenging situation in relationship, and very, very challenging decisions, or a decision that's been made for you and there's nothing you could do about it. And you can't really have a funeral. How do you have a funeral during a pandemic? I mean, I guess you can with social distancing, masks, and if it could be outdoors. But we're going through the winter time, and that's not available in all states. It can be done in churches as long as the ceremony isn't too long, and of course, like I said, with mass and the distancing. And but it would have to just be like the immediate family. But we're going through such challenging times that this may be like what the heartbreak could be about. These two cards are about heartbreak, and I keep getting the feeling of funerals with this one. So I think the timeless message here for us is to pray for all of these people who are crossing over, and pray for their families who are handling this very, very challenging time. And especially for those who have lost a husband or a wife, and for those who have even lost a divorced husband or a wife. Let's say you went through a divorce, and then your ex-spouse caught the coronavirus and crossed over, and now you're alone with raising your children, and that is a very, very difficult situation. I mean, there are so many different possibilities with all of these cards being reversed. And I think that the only solution ever is to open your heart and just love yourself through it, and love your family through it, and just do the best that we can. But we definitely have to, protect ourselves in order to do, like what is the right loving thing in relationship, which is what the true element of this card is you want to be in harmony, and you want the other and the others to be happy. That's what true love is. So we can bring in a celebration of life within family, like family life, if we would just think along those terms, like what is the loving thing for all, which means that during these very, very challenging times, we do have to protect ourselves and protect our family members by saying, no, I can't go to that event. I love you and I wish I could. But the loving thing to do is to say no, unless you know that it could be safe and you guys could all handle it safely. But you know how hard it is when you get together with family members you haven't seen in maybe years or months, or and old friends. How do you not hug them? You know what I mean? How do you not see somebody for a long time and then not hug them? I think that might be just as heartbreaking as not seeing them at all. I think it's probably more heartbreaking. It'd be more heartbreaking to be in physical proximity and not be able to hug them. I honestly don't know which would feel more painful. So this is not a happy reading, but this is one of those readings where to turn things around, to have a happy family, and to do the loving thing in all relationships, to make the loving choice in all relationships, we have to think about safety first. Otherwise, we're not going to, we're not going to grow. We're not going to be able to stay here on Earth and finish our life task. I mean, I have a really hard time understanding why anybody's life task would be to die from a virus. But I do understand that it could be, someone's ticket to go back home. But that's the challenging issue when it comes to diseases and crossing over in ways that are not coming from harmony. Being able to die in a peaceful way and having your loved ones around you while they say goodbye, that's the epitome of crossing over. But that's not what is being allowed, at this time with the coronavirus. This is not happening. And that is another deep level of pain. That returning home without that love around you in the physical realm, we have to trust that it will come through in the spiritual realm on the other side, or through that tunnel, through that gateway, through that transition. We have to trust that it's there for us on the other side. Again, like the love is always there. We just have to remember that. Even though here on earth it's not going to go smoothly for those who have needed to leave the earth through a virus. So I guess the final message is just to know that the love is always there, and to remember to open to it as much as you possibly can. But then also to have those strong, healthy boundaries, even though it may cause arguments in your family, or you might be afraid of what they think about you, or you might be afraid of, harsh judgment. But bottom line is, your decisions with yourself is the ultimate love. To be your own best lover would be to take really good care of yourself and say no to those types of travel plans. And maybe all of this is coming up because of, maybe all these cards are like this because maybe we're thinking about Christmas and how do we get together. And maybe the key is just to keep your heart open and stay in contact with people that you love in all the other ways that you can, other than being physically together. Because we just have to get past this winter and into spring, and then probably enough people will be, will have a safe vaccination, at least two safe vaccinations, and things can be very, very different. And even though not everybody can handle vaccinations, most people will be able to. And then the ones that can't handle vaccinations, they will be the ones wearing masks for quite a while. Until this is gone, until it's eradicated. Unless there's another virus that comes in. I mean, there are changes that we need to make in our relationship with farming animals and our relationship with the earth. We need to make changes. So maybe that's part of this here too. So Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to close this up for now. I'm sorry this is not a happy reading, but I have to read the cards as they come through. Okay, you guys, take good care. Bye.